WTEW Bible Studies. Welcome back. Today, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about the trumpets. Well, 4 of them have already blown. We had a good video last week, and we're still not reaching that many people. So we need to reach millions. Jesus is coming, so you get a little commercial here. This Bible study is being taught like probably nobody else is teaching it, and I can't get this word out by myself, so I need your help. And I don't need your money. How about that? Preacher that doesn't need your money. What do I need? I need your prayer. I need you to like these videos. I need you to subscribe to the station. So my vision is that people that like to run advertisements will pay for this. Well, my time and my son's time and my wife's time and anything else that might go to it. So if I want to be doing this full time, I can't do that right now. And that's why I need your help. So it's going to take all of us to get this word out to everybody that needs to hear it. And that is the whole world. So we've only got about 8 billion more to go. Everything on this station will be free. So if you want study notes, if you want to start a small group and you say, well, I wish I had those study notes, you can have them. So it's WTEW Bible Studies at gmail.com. So I can send you the study notes. If you want a chart, we can get you the chart. It's not going to be a big chart like we've got. It's going to be something you'll have to print out yourself. But I would like you to have it if that's what you want. There's just too much here in these charts for them to be wrong. I mean, if you go across the timelines, they work by themselves. If you go down, you can see how different parts of the Revelation take place at the same time. If you don't know how to account for something, a lot of people take parentheses and say, well, I'm not sure what happens after the 6th seal, so we'll just put a parentheses around that. Looks like the same thing happens with the 6th trumpet and even the 6th vial. So we're not going to use any of those parentheses, and yet all of our timing is going to make sense. So if that makes sense to you, help me. Thank you. So we get started here in chapter 8, and starting with verse 6. We're going to be in the trumpets now, and this goes all the way through 11:19. Is how this will be our third story that we're going through. So story 1 was all of chapter 6. That was 6 of the seals. Story 2 was 7:1 to 8:5. And we just finished that up, so now it's time to get into story 3. So Revelation 8:6. And the 7 angels, which had the 7 trumpets, prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire, mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and a third part of the trees was burned up, and all green grass was burned up. And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. And the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel sounded, and a third part of the sun was smitten, and a third part of the moon, and a third part of the stars. So as the third part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for the third part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpets, of the trumpet of the 3 angels, which are yet to sound. So these are one-time events, and they're not found. You can't find other places in the Bible that are going to help you with what these are. John was describing in 1st century stuff that just recently came to pass. So we got 20th century stuff, maybe 21st century stuff, and John had never seen anything like it. So when we keep going through these trumpets, keep that in mind. If you see locusts, maybe they're helicopters, maybe they're drones, who knows? But John's doing the best he can to describe it, and we'll do our best to interpret what they are. The third one there, the third trumpet, is called Wormwood. That translates Chernobyl. So I'm going to start in the third one because these are so vague. This is the most obvious one. So if you're in Ukraine and you're reading this, it says, and the name of the star is called Chernobyl. Literally, it's not, you don't have to translate anything. That's what's actually printed in their Bible. That seems like a clue to me that might be what it is. So 1982, we had the worst nuclear accident that the world has ever seen. That basically blew up, and they encased it with concrete. All kinds of heroes came and gave their lives to seal that up for the rest of the world. So the fourth angel The third part of the sun, moon, and the sky was darkened, so there was a radioactive cloud over there, and the waters were made bitter. Well, that means that the waters were poisonous to drink. Well, they were all radioactive, and that happened probably a third part of the earth, at least over there in Europe. When God said that Babylon controlled the whole world, it didn't include the United States or Australia or anything like that. It was a smaller world. So third part seems reasonable that was blocked out with that big radioactive cloud that happened when they had that problem. So that leaves us to trumpets 1 and 2. So the first trumpet, they've got hail and fire mingled with blood on the earth. We hear words today like a hail of bullets, and you wouldn't see these big bombs just burning up everything. You wouldn't see a carpet bombing like they had in Dresden, where the whole city pretty much just disappears because they just dropped thousands of pounds of bombs on it. Well, John saw all that stuff, so I'm not sure which part of that, but I'm thinking World War II is what that was. And then the second one, the great mountain burning with fire. Well, mountains are symbolic of powers, so government powers. And Jesus is going to become a great mountain and fill the whole earth. That's how he's described when he comes. He's going to be the government, and he's going to take over the whole thing. So when you think of mountains, don't necessarily think of meteorite. Although I like to take things literally as much as I can. I think in this case, what they're talking about is the government entity was put down. So Hitler, Nazi Germany, that was crushed at that time. So they were thrown back into the sea. These world powers come up out of the sea, so just out of the nations. And this shows that there's no place for Nazi Germany anymore. It just kind of went back into the nations. And that's not to say we haven't had more rulers come up since then, but like we said, as we're going through the seals, they won't control more than a quarter of the earth until the new Roman Empire is up. So that's seals 1 through 4. Please take my appeal to help this ministry. I need you. Thank you.